No, it all worked out. It always does.
Thanks for having me.
But you're here.
I live in the hills of Malibu.
So tell us a little bit about what you do, and I noticed you've got these beautifully, did you hand paint these to match each other?
Evan painted these.
They're beautiful.
I make
Look at that.
didgeridoos and I paint when I can.
So we're sound healers, energy practitioners. Evan's a body worker. I do spiritual counseling. And we, most of what we do, we incorporate the sound healing into our practice. We've shared sound healing in alcohol and drug rehab facilities and hospitals, children's hospitals, assisted living, and worked with in very unusual situations with our sound. We try to integrate our healing practice with our daily life and sometimes bring it into situations that are a little bit more, matrix types of situations because we feel that's where it's needed. So all the instruments that we use are world instruments, indigenous. I'm a singer, and Evan sings as well, and then he makes his didgeridoos. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, basically, many of you I know meditate, obviously. You're all into spirituality and your connection with spirit, and we all have a love of music, different styles of music, different forms, but we recognize the vehicle that music offers us to go deeper into our emotional bodies and recognizing the energy that we all are. And I know all of you are familiar with where we're at today with understanding quantum physics and realizing how much we really influence the field in our manifestation and our transformation, whether we're releasing energy and clearing energy or we're trying to activate and bring in more spiritual empowerment. And the more we want to connect with and get in this union with our connection and our relationship with God. So one of the things that we do, and it's really been for us sort of this vehicle of our own transformation, is working with these kinds of instruments, being that they're native and somewhat indigenous, and go back to some of the most primal sounds, like the drum beat being the pulse of the earth and our heartbeat, and working with the didgeridoo, one of the oldest wind instruments, if they say the oldest. I make mine out of cactus, but indigenously they're eucalyptus wood that the termite ants have been hollowing out. So they say they go back, 40,000 years, almost basically being cavemen. We've been playing them. And I say we because we are all indigenous. It doesn't matter where you came from, what part of the planet, what culture, we all go back. And whether you believe in past lives or not, it's in our DNA. So part of what we do with this is we use it as a vibrational therapy. We actually play on you.
Are you familiar with that? Sound healing, pretty much everyone here? Yeah.
So you feel the energies, you feel the vibrations, you feel the frequencies going into your body. It's like a sonic massage. And really what we're trying to do is lead you on a musical meditation. It's a shamanic journey because it can take you into places within yourself and with each other as a group, which we like to think is somewhat unlimited.
So part of what we do is what we call clearing and activation. So they sometimes happen simultaneously, and we play on and around people. So our performance that is called Sound Shrine. And really what we're making is a sound temple with the sound and with the songs. And we, in our performances, we have people sing along with us. We have world chants, inspirational songs. Sometimes we have a little conscious hip-hop. And we integrate all of these different instruments.
Yeah, I'd like to throw in, too, that she's, I've become more of a musician, but for me it's been more through the sound and toning and meditation with oming and toning. But Angelica writes and she sings, and we have a CD that's, it's not just sound healing, it's music, and it's conscious lyrics of many different styles. So let me tell you about the CD. We today are going to be doing a lot of songs and a lot of chants, and some of it's Hindu and kirtan style, and some of it's really more simple toning that's going to be very experiential, very interactive, but we're also going to sort of perform and give you a chance to be activated and use the power of invocation with music to influence your meditation, influence your your spiritual growth in this process. So I don't want to I want you to have a clear understanding of that there will be some real musicality going on today. We got a big setup.
Yeah, from 1 to 3 we're doing our workshop.
We have some backtracks. We got it all coming together.
And it's a 5th and 6th chakra activation initiation. So we'll really be working with people's throats, speaking their truth, opening up to their intuition, clearly seeing. And most people are aware of their clairvoyance to some degree, but I really want to work on that today. Okay. So let's just do a little sample here. I invite everybody to take a nice deep breath, and you might want to anchor your feet. And if you want to close your eyes, we can take you on a little journey.
Yeah, so we worked on these energy centers, and today the focus has been 5th chakra to 6th chakra, your throat, your expression, your emotional releasing, and ultimately speaking your truth and singing your song. And that 6th chakra, which is really about your intuition and your inner knowing and your connection to your crown and your higher spirit. So one of the things with the world fusion is this integration of these chakras, not just simplistically understanding one chakra or another, but rather recognizing where one influences another. So enough said, just focus in on your heart, center, and your 5th and 6th chakra is a potential activation.
The first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to clear any grief, trauma, old energy that's in the body. Just focus on releasing that which no longer serves the development and your highest good.
Everybody can just do a few ohms together. Just get that connection with the resonance of sound. Take a deep breath. Allow yourself to give a long, deep, releasing ohm. Deep breath, inhale is as important as the exhale. Beautiful. And you're welcome to keep that going inside or outside if you feel it.
Oh, great, good.
I feel more relaxed.
So you get the benefit as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. All the breathing and
Reciprocating everything.
it's like being a flute, and the energy flows through.
So what brought you to doing this? What segued you into this lifestyle?
Well, when Evan and I first met, we met at a spiritual bookstore, and there was a CD listening station of over 300 titles of world music and healing music. So I would listen to it every day. I worked there, and I recommended a CD to him. It worked out really well. I think it was Shaman Stream. So
I've been going in there for a while anyway, but she knows.
and we started to go to drum circles, and then the sound just intuitively. I'd always sung, but the sound really started to come about, and we intuitively picked up on instruments. And that's part of what we share with people is that I believe everybody has natural musical abilities, and that we're often taught that we don't have that because we don't have the formal training or we've had imprints from our childhood or things like that. And so it's really an intuitive process for me.
Yeah, like many of you are probably familiar with maybe the Tibetan bowl, whether you're beating a drum. Something like this is like a native style drum, but this is synthetic and always holds great sound.
She plays it all the time.
See, Kingshiz, so
I'm backup musician.
we need you. You're hired. I see the native drum in the back, you got this natural skin drum. So, yeah, and really as an extension of getting connected to what you're feeling inside, and like we talk about, we all talk about the yoga breath and working with the power of the breath, whether you're jogging or just getting a deeper breathing, getting connected to, living your life in the moment, in the now, breath to breath, at least having that awareness of being able to transcend the limited mind.
Yeah, it helps
And all
my
the,
mind for sure, because I'm very activated mentally all the time, thoughts. So I find that the music really helps. Did anybody have any experiences or visions or anything they'd like to share?
When you came around to me the second time, my feet are not grounded. I'm sitting up here, and you did the didge right on my feet, and I could feel myself grounding into the earth while you had, my feet were vibrating, and I could feel myself deepening my connection with the earth.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah,
Anybody else?
Yeah.
And I felt that these sounds were those like people had experienced thousands of years ago with shamans and medicine men and women, and
Sounds of the earth, really, isn't it?
yeah, it's very earthy, and it was like I could feel the frequency and the vibrations flowing in and out of my body, and it was very powerful. So I could see that when you're meditating, and I don't meditate with music, but that I could do that sometimes, and then it would maybe enhance the experience even more.
For me, it was like your voice and whatever you were singing. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, also the instruments, of course.
Everything is
But
really
your
together.
voice is everything. So.
Thank you.
It was, I thought it was very powerful. When you came here to the heart, it just blew something out. I felt it just-
Yes, we love that.
Oh, yeah, that was
Coughing.
great.
Yeah.
That was great. And then my fingers, sometimes they get numb,
Uh-huh.
completely opened up.
Oh,
and
nice.
helped that,
That's good.
yeah.
Definitely works on the nervous system, the energy channels. It starts to allow releasing and reconnecting. What makes it so dynamic is it's always different. That's why I love playing on people too. I mean, it's great playing just, in a cave or in the bathroom. Wherever
It's
the
really
sound
good for the
gets good.
didgeridoo.
But it's just organic. The organic, interconnected. Well, it's the relationship and the resonance reforming. So even like we're walking around feeling a vibration, but we're not really aware of it because we're so busy more often being connected to, responding to what's outside ourselves, what we see, maybe what we hear. So all of a sudden to have something that sort of penetrates, but gets connected one resonance or frequency with the one that you're maybe holding, it maybe often brings some stuff up. And then it's sort of, okay, and then, okay, and then it creates a new tone. It creates a new harmonic, it's a new frequency, it's meeting, it's coming together. It's not just one happening to another.
The coughing is a good sign. That's always a good sign when we're having that release.
It's your lungs are releasing toxins.
Like for me, sometimes like afterwards though, like after you leave, it's like when things really start.
Yeah, I'm still like,
Yeah.
I notice when I cross my leg like this, it's like my foot wants to go back down to feel because I'm feeling like a connection, with the earth and that, but my whole body is still. And I'm feeling like I'm picking up so much stuff right now. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, it can be, that's why the grounding is really important so that you don't get over inundated
Yes,
with too
'cause
much
I'm
for
feeling
your
that,
your nervous system. And I find most people are in general, are very sensitive to energy, and they often think it's something going on with them, but it's not always that. It's often the electromagnetic frequencies, people's thoughts that they're driving by, and there's a lot of sound. I have ears that pick up on like a dog's whistle, okay? So I have these really, really little sensitive ears, and as I've been doing the sound, I can hear more and more. You ever hear toning, little pitch, like, pew? Anybody hear that? Yeah. I think that's, spirits and beings and frequencies that we're picking up on all the time, and so, all those things are important to just notice, and then notice how we feel after, because that's the main thing with the sound, is that it for me made me more sensitive, but then also more aware of where I'm at in my surroundings, so that I can navigate and not just always think all the moods and the energies are just me. We're all connected. And I saw you all, like one being at the end, I saw this funnel of energy like this in the room. And like I could really see us as one breath and one being, and that we were in like a tube, what is it called? The tuba-torus of sound together. And plus how you have the space set up.
The other thing to consider too is just that, like we talk about rooting and we talk about energy, and oftentimes it's sort of, how do you put that in context? But we're sensual, kinetic beings. We experience most of our energy through feeling. It's not just the emotion of, the emotion doesn't have to be a story to something that happened to us. It's in every moment. That's how we know where we're at and how we feel. And the more we talk about getting in touch with what's going on inside, and we have a connection to being rooted in our energetic body, which is always changing on some level. Some days, you wake up, why did I wake up this way? Yesterday I woke up that way, So whatever it is, we're always working with this, and we're being influenced, and we're influencing each other. So, sound, yes, but vibration, frequency, energy, it's really all the same. It's just us trying to find ways to understand it.
What was your name, honey?
Pearl.
Pearl.
How do you differentiate between your own energy that you're creating and someone else's that you're picking up on?
Well, I have a process, so I just sit here and right now, I'm feeling really relaxed. I feel a connection with everyone here. And so I kind of see where I'm at and where the group's at. But sometimes in a more chaotic situation, it's not always clear, but I check on, how was I a minute ago before I walked into the room? Or I picked up the phone. Or, that's how I do it. Because if I'm feeling something, I start to track it. How was I 5 minutes ago before this phone call? Oh, it must be the phone call, because I was feeling great. Now I'm drained. Okay. Note to self. don't have draining phone calls. Get off really quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's kind of how I do it. I just do a lot of backtracking,
Right.
and then also tuning
Yeah,
in.
when did it shift?
That's a
Yeah,
good-
when did it shift, and like, is this me? That's another question I ask. Is this me? And because I'll first off go, what did I do? What did I do? What choice did I make? Is this me? And then a lot of times I'll go, oh, no, wasn't me. No.
Because I felt very peaceful coming in, but after this session, my solar plexus feel an anxiety. So I'm wondering, did it just bring out something
Right.
that I need to be aware of?
Or
within
were
me?
you feeling the group?
Or was I feeling the
So in general, let me
Or
ask
me.
you, do you, in general, are you an empathic person that tends to feel other people's energies and
Yeah.
feelings? Okay, so then after a group does a release, you're going to connect with your own, I'm going to say, your own energy, whatever you're needing to release, but also the group. And it feels like both to me.
Yeah,
Because,
it's more than I usually feel.
so that's a good awareness. It's more than you usually feel. And
Yeah,
the-
usually I'm in a very peaceful place. I don't feel this little butterflies, but I do now. And maybe it's the,
Some of it's energy
Release.
moving and releasing.
Right.
There's energy movement and releasing. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's getting in touch with what's going on. Because like, how do you differentiate? Well, it's an awareness. And we're all in different moments. You know, we may question, but like, okay, is that just my mind questioning? Am I really in a position of observing it as it's happening too? So this is sort of that continual checking in with, why am I feeling this, or what is this I'm feeling?
So
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. Are you okay with the butterflies, or do you feel like you would like to move the butterflies a little and be more peaceful?
it feels like I need to process them, release, maybe just release something within myself that I've been holding that I wasn't aware of, something very, very subtle, very deep. Because I've released and let go of a lot of stuff.
Of course. And there's always more.
Yeah.
And we've also all done a really good job. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. You know, we're all doing our best, right? So I'm just going to invite you to take a nice deep breath. And if anybody has a little residual energies that are a little uncomfortable, or something that's moving that they have an awareness of or didn't have an awareness of, we want to just shine golden light all over everybody. And that'll just absorb some of the residual energies that are ready to go and be transmuted. With ease and grace, all with grace, and with the breath. And sometimes the butterflies are actually you're having more energy and more expansion. So sometimes it's also an activation of being more of yourself.
And it's
Holding
safe. It's safe to feel your feelings. You have space to experience all of who you are and each other. And it's just a process that continues to move. So allow that flow. And it's okay to come up against some of our grief and our shadow side. That's sometimes an important part of our spiritual integration, not just clearing, but learning and growing and transcending our limited self on any level, emotional, physical, mental, psychic, just any and all of it. So allow.
So Pearl, what element do you connect with to help you to clear? Are you aware of connecting with any one element, water, earth, fire, air, to help you to clear energy?
It's like a spiritual connection.
So you do it through the fifth element, let's say.
Yes.
Okay. Check in for a moment and just see if there's any earth element, like air, water, fire, earth. Am I getting all of them? Air, water, fire, earth. That would maybe assist your clearing process. And that's for everyone else as well. If there's an element that just helps you to clear when you're feeling a little blocked or you're feeling stressed. Okay. it's just something to look at. 'Cause that's part of what we do a lot of in our work, is we bring people in nature and do retreats and things like that. And we everyday hike, and I connect with all the elements every day, consciously. What I'm drinking, walking on. The fire element, I always light a candle or have sage, or and breathing, of course. Just having a real connection with that. I feel all those things have a sound and a frequency. They're the first kind of natural instruments, besides our voice.
So certain properties are better for certain kinds of issues then, right?
Yeah, and it's also for the individual's needs. Like, if someone's really, really earthy, they just go, I'm a real earth person. They might need more air or fire to clear them. I'm an air person with a lot of fire, so I use water, but I also use fire to clear myself a lot, meaning that I connected the fire element, and it kind of burns off some of that extra mental energy that I have. And then sometimes I need to cool down and really immerse in water. And so that's something that Evan and I really work a lot with, and it's not separate for me from the sound. It's actually the point of why we play all the instruments is to connect with the earth medicine, and the cosmos, not separate.
Okay, so they will be available here if you have any questions. They do have the Sound Shrine concert from 1 to 3. You can go out to lunch, come back, get here maybe about 10 to 1 if you'd like to come back and join them. And you'll have some CDs for sale on the back of the table.
Actually, the CDs will be come with this particular event.
Oh, you get a CD
We
with
get
your
a
entrance.
CD.
Okay.
Mhm.
And it's $20 a person?
It was 20 pre-sale.
Oh, that's right.
But, just give what you can at this
Okay.
point. I mean, it was 30 if you didn't pre-register, but, we just want you to come, really, more than anything. I hope that's okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's our first time here, and we don't know a lot of people in the area, so if you want to come back, we'd love to have you.
Thank you.
Who's the dish player in this group? Is there somebody
I don't think
not
he's
in
here,
there?
huh?
Seth, he normally
he's
does
not.
it for us on the first Sunday.
Okay.
And I'm one of his students, but not a very good one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
If you're playing, you can't be that bad. It's just about making those sounds. Yeah.
I think that's it. I don't play it very often. It's collecting dust inside my closet. But every time I hear it, I get inspired to pull it out.
I will also say that there's been studies shown that playing the didgeridoo helps people to sleep. And I believe it's scientific studies, because of the breath.
Breath, yeah. Yeah, it is. There are several universities that are espousing it to be the cure, not the symptom management of sleep apnea.